Thank you, Wendy. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, you have two things that are your passions. Cooking, food is one of your passions. Tell me about your food background.
Oh, dear. Well, see, when kids used to, get home from school and they wanted to go play, I rushed home from school to go help my grandmother cook and to watch her cook. I was fascinated. I was enthralled by it. So I grew up cooking at a very early age, and I learned how to cook homemade pasta and make homemade cheese and make homemade wine. And I learned all of her authentic Italian recipes, and some of them date back to 500 years to the Constantines.
So tell me about Grandma. Where did Grandma come from?
Grandma came from a little village called Britoli on the coast of Pescara in Italy. And she actually, this is like we're talking a winding road around 100 miles of mountain up, cascading along the Adriatic Sea. So people didn't move a lot out of the village. There were also 2 active volcanoes there. But my grandmother and my grandfather, who lived maybe 2 miles apart on the same mountain, met at a car factory in Hamilton, Ontario. Now, what are the chances? They didn't know each other on that mountain, but they met in Hamilton, Ontario. So my grandmother's parents had already established a place on Atlantic Street in City Mines, which at that time was farmland. And my grandfather and my grandmother ended up getting married, and they took over the family house, and they had a store, and they had farms, and they cooked, and they made homemade Italian sausage, and they introduced gelato. They had the first telephone, and they had the first phone book, which was like 2 inches big and only a few pages in it. And they were just pioneers, and I found that fascinating. So I wanted to learn everything I could learn from my grandmother. They had gardens, and it didn't matter which church or which religion, she'd have half of her garden was nothing but flowers, peonies and dahlias and daffodils and gladiolas and every color American Beauty rose. And she'd do bouquets of roses for all of the churches and flowers. And she would sit for hours on this front step peeling onions or peeling potatoes and watching for people to walk up the street, and she'd holler, "Wayo, wayo, wayo, manja," which meant boy, eat, eat. And you never knew who was going to be sitting in their kitchen. She had 2 kitchens.
Because a lot of people who are Italian have 2 kitchens.
Yeah, we had 2 kitchens.
Yeah.
So it was amazing. I had a wonderful childhood growing up on Atlantic Street. I mean, kids would walk by my house and they go, "Oh, Angela, what are you having for dinner tonight?" "I don't know, come on in." So It was just one melting pot of family and all different cultures on Atlantic Street.
And where did the music come from?
Oh, music came from everywhere growing up on Atlantic Street. Everybody owned a guitar. Everybody had a piano. Everybody had a juice harp, a harmonica, a fiddle. Every family was filled with music. I didn't even know my father had an amazing voice until we went to Italy in 2001, the week following the 9/11, and we're in a gondola. And he starts to sing. And he's amazing. Like, I'm thinking, oh my God, he sounds like Placido Domingo. Like, is this Placido Domingo? Is this Andrea Bocelli? He had an amazing he had an operatic voice. I didn't know because he was so busy working. And he could play piano by ear, but he gave all 6 of us opportunities to study music. And I can remember going to Ernest Larson. This is way back when, many years ago, and I had long red hair and long fingernails. And, of course, the fingernails were all real then. They weren't acrylic like they are today, and 6-inch heels. And I'd play everything by ear. I didn't read music. And he'd say, "That sounds very good, Angela, but how do you play with those talons?" And you are cheating. You are playing by ear. But it sounds very good. So we all just indulged in music in the family.
So this event, and you have sort of concerts and dinners and invite people to attend. This one was supposed to have happened at Christmas time.
It was supposed to. The date was actually picked, Wendy, by someone in my family who I aspire to. Linda Cerule. And many people don't realize that Linda Cerule and Angela Ianetti are sisters because of the last name. But I was more like, her best friend and her daughter, and she was more like my best friend and my mom because, like a new baby coming home, a change of life baby, 7 years younger than the youngest, it was like, oh my God, this is like a doll, So like I grew up like her sidekick. I'm not kidding. She dragged me everywhere. So she was a vocalist. She had a band. She was 15. She was in a band with my brother and Lone Walsh and Henry DePercio, all these guys. And they'd have to sing the last waltz at 11 o'clock because she had a curfew. And then when they sang it, everyone would just stand there in awe because her voice was so amazing. She had the voice of an angel, and she did a lot of work with different organizations, and she supported me in my music. And I did a part with the Addams Family. I was the granny. She supported that, but she hid very well her stage 4 cancer that she lived with for a long time. Like she'd say, Angela, I'm not dying with cancer. I'm living with it. And she actually picked the date for our December concert. There were 4 dates we had in 2 venues, and she said, Angela, I love the Fire Hall. Do it December the 14th, she said, and that'll be a perfect date for us. And I'll get to go. I'll be done on my treatment. But I ended up using that date for her celebration of life, Wendy.
Yeah.
So Marvin McDonald, oh my God, he runs the Fire Hall in Sydney Mines. He was so supportive. And he said, look, Angela, he said, you do what you have to do. We'll find you another date. And he came up. What about the 13th? And 13 for me, I love it. Friday the 13th's always been my lucky day. So I'm looking forward to this. So
this is this Friday. So you have a meal, you have music, and you have friends coming on stage with you. We're going to play. We're going to give away the tickets for starters. So we are going to. If you have never won on Main Street before, and you are able to get to the Sydney Mines Fire Hall Friday, the 13th of December at 6 p.m. from 9, so it's 6 to 9.
But there's something especially special about this dinner concert. Mm-hmm. All of the people who are going to be with us, like Warden Tim Gillespie, Roy Dawson, I'm bringing a new lady on, Yvonne Da, Evan Milligan, Evan McDonald, Carmi Steele, Anurag Wore, Priya Wore, Omore, Jimmy Wombolt. He worked for a couple of community radio stations in Halifax. His wife passed away last year. He's now retired. He's going to do our video work. He's a musician, worked with everybody and anybody back in the days of Agency 2000 in Halifax. These are all people who are amazing. Amazing people, so talented. And you know what's so amazing about them, aside from the fact that they're musically talented or with videography, is the fact that they do such a massive amount of giving. And they've done that for years. And we're all coming together. Like people say, how can you do this the 3-course meal and this big lineup for $40? Well, you know how we're doing it? We're going to cover our costs. We're going to give everybody a chance to be part of the music industry, to show their face, to show what they can do with their video. And it gives community an opportunity to come out for a lineup of entertainment that's just astounding. And my Granny Ianetti is smiling down on that 3-course meal, girl. So this happens, Sydney Mines Fire Hall, Friday the 13th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. I have a pair of tickets to give away. If you have never won on Main Street before and you would like to take a guest to this event, this sounds like a wonderful Valentine's Day gift for somebody. Oh, absolutely.
902.
Wendy, can we make that 3 tickets?
I have 2 right here.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
I'm good. Make it 3?
I'm good.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm going to give 2 away right now. 902-563-4116, 902-563-4116. I have a pair of tickets to give away. Call in if you are the 4th caller, and we're going to listen to You Are My Magic, which is a beautiful track that you recorded. Yeah.
That's a little something, You Are My Magic. My new music partner is Anurag Wore. He is one of the most talented, humble, beautiful persons I know. And we worked on this project together. And I'm not going to say too much about it. I think it speaks for itself.
Beautiful track. And we have Angela Ianetti in studio with us, and we are taking our fourth caller for these tickets. This is CBC Radio 1. You Are My Magic.
You are the reason for my life. You are the one who makes me whole. You are my memory, my magic. You let my destiny unfold. You made me feel the sunshine like the early morning light. On the days that felt like darkness, you helped me see the light. You're the part of me I can't let go. Master of my fate, savior of my destiny. Every breath I take. You are the reason for my life. You are the one who makes me whole. You made me feel the sunshine like the early morning light. On the days that felt like darkness, you helped me see the dragonflies and butterflies, angels in the air. See you in the magic, feel you everywhere. You live inside the moment of everything I dream. You are my perfect friend. You are my everything. You are the reason for my life. You are the one who makes me whole. You made me feel the sunshine like the early morning light. On the days that felt like darkness, you helped me see the
That is Angela Ianetti. And we have a winner. Tracy Shepherd is going to the dinner concert. That takes place at the Sydney Mines Fire Hall this Friday, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And congratulations, Tracy Shepherd. This is Main Street, CBC Radio 1. Part of the Prime Minister's plan to address crime in Canada starts at the border. In October, Carney's government announced new measures to increase security and address something U.S. presidents have talked about: fentanyl, among other things. Those measures include hiring 1,000 new CBSA officers, as well as an increase in technology and resources at ports and points of entry. The CBC's Rosemary Barton spoke with Canada Border Services Agency President Eric O'Gorman about what progress has been made.
Seizures continue apace. CBSA has seized more drugs